In a world where the Constitution is under attack, one team of patriots stands up to fight for what's right with courage, strength, truth, and justice. Backed by popular demand and broadcasting live via the internet, this is the world-famous Rage Against the Regime, bringing you hard-hitting, exclusive interviews and covering the topics the mainstream media doesn't dare to touch. Here are your hosts, Bobby Who's the Man and Becky Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of Rage Against the Regime Radio. Today I will be your only host, Bobby Who's the Man. We have a lot to get to and we don't have a whole lot of time to do it, so let's get to it. It's been a lot of misinformation that has been coming out as of late about Donald Trump, about if he's going to be staying in the race, if he's not going to be staying in the race. It's all a ploy by mainstream media to lead you to believe that there's something different going on, that Trump is going to be backing out, so on and so forth. And we've talked about this the last couple shows. Now, some information was broken today by the group Never Trump, and that they have a person that they're going to throw into the race against Donald J. Trump, and his name is Evan McMullen. He's the director for the representatives, director for the Republicans in the House of Representatives. And he's also a CIA veteran. He sounds like the type of guy that, that would do a great job, right? Somebody we could trust. The director for the Republicans in the House of Representatives, and then a CIA veteran. Sounds like somebody to trust, right? I mean, they're only doing this because any vote that is not a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for Hillary. Now, you all need to understand that, you need to realize that, and you need to know that. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. Any vote that is not a vote for Donald J. Trump is a vote for Hillary Clinton. And I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how you do the math on it. It's going to come out to the same answer every time. Now, you go ahead and figure out, who do they want to win this race? Go ahead, think about it. Who do they want to win this race? It's not Donald J. Trump. It's not Evan McMullen. It's Hillary Clinton. That is who they want to win. They're putting every dime that they can into this. Now, you know as well as I do that this is a George Soros-backed project. Guaranteed that this is George Soros-backed. I guarantee you that all of his money is put into this. Now, they keep talking about how Donald J. Trump is not fit to be president. They've had Barack Obama come forward and say, oh, Donald Trump is not fit. No, he's not fit to be president. He would know, all these secrets and everything, and I don't think that he can be trusted, and so on and so forth. Yeah, okay, coming from your mouth. But now, get a load of this. A director from a pharmaceutical company comes forward today and says Hillary Clinton has Parkinson's. That's why all these photos are going around of her not being able to walk upstairs and her doing the shakes and, you know, her looking at things and her head starts bobbing around and everything else. And I hate to tell you, I don't know if it's true or not, but it makes a lot of sense to me. It makes a lot of sense. There's been a lot of videos coming out here recently where, you know, people are helping her walk upstairs and people are, you know, doing whatever to try to help her. And she seems like she can't get along by herself. I'm sorry, but that's exactly what it looks like. Now, I'm wondering if the Democratic Party and the crooks didn't realize that Hillary had a health problem. Now, am I saying she does? No. I don't even know if the story from this person from this pharmaceutical company even knows what he's talking about her having Parkinson's. But look at it and think about it. I mean, anything's possible. Seriously, think about it. Anything is possible. So, this Evan McMullen, do you actually think that he's throwing his hat into the race and thinking, oh, I got this great chance of winning? Yes. No. No. I guarantee you that they're going to find dirt on him soon enough that, you know, he's who knows what, he's done something wrong, whatever. They're going to have some kind of information on him too. And he's going to be another scumbag, just like the idiot that tried breaking into Trump Tower the other day. Well, he didn't try breaking in. He was in Trump Tower with a gun that had a silencer as the words that they used. And he was caught inside the building by members of the Secret Service. Now, you know, I don't understand this whole thing. I don't get what the hell they're trying to do. Okay? I mean, I get that they don't want Trump to be president. Okay? They're scared of him. They don't want him. I get all that. I get it. But I mean, seriously, where are they coming up with all these people? I mean, this Evan McMullen, you know, okay, he was a CIA vet, okay, which those guys are pretty dirty. They do dirty work, okay? I mean, I'm not saying they're all bad guys. I know guys that were in the Secret Service. My mother has a friend, her husband was in the Secret Service. He was on many details guarding presidents and stuff. And when he comes around, he tells stories. And some of his friends come around and they all tell stories and everything else. And it makes for a good time. It's nice to hear the stories and everything. But you also hear the bad things about these FBI, CIA guys and everything else. Any members of the alphabet. Now wait till you hear this story that I have coming up later on. It's a little teaser, so stick around with us. Little teaser about a documentary that just came out. It's going to blow your mind. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. Let's keep talking about this. So they're bringing all these people forward, you know, to go against Trump. And now, we're finding out that something's going on with Hillary. But as I've said earlier, you know as well as I do, any vote that is not for Donald Trump is for Hillary Clinton. So all they're trying to do is secure her a victory in the presidential race. Folks, if she wins, we are in trouble. That's the demise of the United States. We may as well just go ahead, pack our stuff up and move to another country, buy an island somewhere, do something. But it's not going to be good here. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be good. If you're not a liberal, you are in trouble. If you're a conservative, if you're a patriot, you're really in trouble. Especially when I tell you the story about the documentary that came out. Actually, we'll do that right now before we get into some other news. So, they made a documentary against the Patriots, and the person that they have sitting in front of the camera telling us all these terrible things about the Bundys. They mentioned Casey Massey's name and mentioned Camp Lone Star. They pretty much named all these Patriots, and, we're talking about, all the things that they did at Bundy Ranch, and then they talked about Burns, Oregon, and so on and so forth. And the guy that they have sitting there telling us about it is James Kavanaugh. Let that sink in for a second. James Kavanaugh. Did you give up yet? Oh, you do know who he is or you don't? Mr. James Kavanaugh is the person that led the charge at Waco, Texas, and killed women and children. And, well, of course, men, of course. But killed people in Waco, Texas. James Kavanaugh led the charge. He's the same man. But he's going to sit there on this documentary and tell us how patriots and 3%ers are such bad people and conservatives are terrible people and we're lone wolves and, we're going to do all these bad things and we're going to do all this harm and everything else. And, it was mainly a documentary that was made for law enforcement, but it got into other hands. Ladies and gentlemen, this coming from a man who had no mercy and killed women and children and, people that were, David Koresh's people were not really bad people. Did they have arms and everything? Yeah, they did. They had their own little, camp, and they had, their own property and everything. They weren't bothering anybody. And they were killed. The government didn't want them to have their own weapons and everything, and they burned them out, and then they shot them. So this scumbag is going to sit on the TV and sit on your screen in a documentary and tell, people that 3%ers, patriots, conservatives, militia members are all bad. I can't wait till Casey Massey calls me again. Hey, Casey, guess what? You're famous again by some dickhead that's on TV talking about how militia members and all of us are bad people. What a real scumbag. Folks, in case you haven't realized it, they have a picture painted of us, and the portrait is not a good one, I can tell you right now. It's an ugly portrait. No matter what kind of things that we try to do for the betterment of our country, I mean, here, for example, look at, they're trying to make sure that Donald Trump does not get in office. Now, do I think adding this Evan McMullen is going to make a difference and going to be able to stop Trump from becoming, president? Not really. In fact, I think that they might be hurting themselves and messing it up for Hillary a little bit more by giving people another option. Because look what they were doing when they wanted to get Sanders in office. You see how the DNC and the Democratic Party screwed Sanders right out of his nomination. They stole it away from him. They admitted to it. And Hillary even talked about it. Oh, I didn't know they did that. Oh my God, whatever. Lies. So now, they're putting this idiot up here. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, and then they had all these different videos come out, about how the primaries and voting and everything can be hacked and so on and so forth. I mean, my God. Can you make it any more easy for them to steal this whole nomination away from Donald J. Trump? I just hope that with everything that Julian Assange has been putting out, and with all the evidence finally being taken in, that they might put the brakes on Hillary Clinton becoming president of the United States. It just gets me really sick to my stomach to see that the country that I was, ever since I was a kid, that I've loved so much, and to see the direction that we're going in, it's sickening. It's getting me sick to my stomach. And then to see that the American people will not stand up and do anything. Watching those videos from everything that went down at the Bundy Ranch, man, that made me feel good to see that the American people will stand together. Not so much, all the things that happened and, some of the things that they did may have been wrong, having snipers pointing at, people with the government and everything else. You had to do what you had to do. Was it right? I mean, maybe not 100% right, but they made things happen, okay? So I'm not knocking anybody, so please don't take it that way. But the point that I'm getting at, it was a feel-good moment. I don't have that feel-good moment anymore. I don't feel like the American public is going to stand up and protect one another and stand up for our damn rights. I don't see it happening. The American people will not stand up for one another. And if they will, where the hell are they? Shouldn't it have happened already? My God. I mean, what it boils down to right now is everybody's being keyboard warriors. Nobody is standing up. Nobody's doing anything. Everybody's talking about all these things that they're going to do. Here, take for instance. And now, it's not a knock. Bikers for Trump. At the RNC, they were talking about there was going to be anywhere from 1,000 to, 20,000 bikers. Right? That they were going to show up. They were going to have all these numbers and they were going to do all these things and everything else. Now, Mr. Cox is doing a great job. Okay? But where was the bikers? Where were they? I mean, what was it? Maybe 50 guys at most? And like I said, it's not a knock to them. It's just I'm proving a point. People say they're going to do something and they don't do it. They don't even show up. Do you get where I'm coming from? People are scared. People do not want to actually do actions. They want to talk about things and they sound great on the internet and, you know, and whatever. And then when it comes down to it, where are they? They're nowhere to be found. All right, I'm not going to do this anymore. I got something else I wanted to talk about. I know I'm bouncing all over the place. I don't have a whole lot of time. Some information came out over the weekend about Zika. In Miami, the Zika outbreak has been happening more and more. I guess more people are being found to have it. So in Miami, they've been flying over and dumping insecticide all over the place, which you know as well as I do. No good for American people. Well, not American people, but people in general. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the word American people. For people in general. So insecticide's not a good thing. Could kill off people very easily. Well, we come to find out that Zika was actually created in 1947. Okay? It's been in laboratory since 1947 when it was created by the Rockefellers. Now, it should not surprise you in the least bit that the Rockefellers are behind this. Should not surprise you in the least bit. Because we're coming to find out here, and it really, really, really pisses me off. Because you would think that some of these people that we're finding out that are behind all these things, you know, are some of the richest people in the world. But they're the ones that are creating all these illnesses. It's just like these people that fund both sides of the war. Just like here, Bill Gates Foundation, him and his wife's foundation, they're the ones that have been creating a lot of diseases that are in the air right now. And it's scary, folks. Do you think that Bill Gates gives a damn about you? Do you think the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the Koch brothers, any of them? And now I'm going to tell you another one that I'm finding out is being more in the fold. Mark Cuban. He put his weight behind Hillary Clinton the other day and is giving her money now and is pretty much joining in with Soros and all the other ones. What does that tell you? Folks, we are in trouble. I don't care how you look at it. We are in trouble. But just to know that Zika was created in 1947. It's been sitting in the laboratory all that time. Unbelievable. We've talked in the past and recently here things that you can do to help defend your house and your outdoor areas and your backyards and everything else from mosquitoes and from Zika. And one of the best lines of defense is to have bats. Put bat poles in your backyard. Let the bats start living up there. And at nighttime, they'll come out and they'll eat all the mosquitoes they can find. And I'm being serious. Then have lemongrass. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. Look, go on to the Rage Against the Regime podcast page. We post stuff there all the time about the best defenses for the likes of, of mosquito repellent, and to fight them off, and, so you don't have to worry about Zika and everything else. All right, so I'm going to go, but I just wanted to come in and drop some of this information so you guys know it, you guys have it, and, just the latest news and everything else. Hopefully Becky will be doing the show here pretty soon, and we'll be able to get more information out to you. But you've been listening to Rage Against the Regime Radio. Thanks for listening.